All right, welcome to the Introduction to Anatomy and Physiology chapter. Anatomy is the study of structure. It is the study of the physical parts, the heart, the lung, muscles, bones, everything that we can touch. Physiology is the study of function, the way those parts work. A very, very important concept is that structure dictates function. How something looks will decide of how it works. We need to look at the structural organization of the body, from small to large. We are made of atoms and molecules. Like, for example, water, H2O, is a molecule, and about over 70% of our body is purely water, that one molecule. We take that a step up and we put cells together, and cells are the smallest living units that we have in the world. Bacteria are sometimes single cellular organisms, and they are alive. We have many different types of cells. We have muscle cells that contract. We have nerve cells that transmit impulses. Step up and we get to tissues. And tissues are fabric type constructions that consist of similar type of cells. We have four main types of tissues, and the first two are the easy ones. They're muscle and they're nerves. Muscles' main job is to contract again, and nerves' main job is to transmit impulses and release chemicals at the end of the nerves where the impulse travels to. And then the other two are epithelium and connective tissue. Organs are structures that undertake a complete act in the body. So like a muscle contracts or a heart pumps. And then an organ system is when we collect organs that sort of work together, close together, like the heart and the blood vessels in a cardiovascular system. And then the highest level of structural organization is the organism. And the organism is you and I. Let's briefly touch on the body systems. We start with the integumentary system. The skin is our largest organ. It forms the external covering of our body. It protects the deeper tissues from injury, so when we bang into things, we don't bleed out. The skin also makes vitamin D. And interestingly, since we're outdoors less frequently, our vitamin D levels are too low. And vitamin D helps with many, many body functions. We also have many receptors in the skin, and they help us feel the outside world through touch, temperature, pain, and some others. Also, this is where we have sweat glands, which help remove body heat through sweat, through water. And then finally, what I have here on the list, oil glands are attached to every hair, and they help keep the skin supple. The skeletal system is next. Our bones protect and support our body and organs. For example, the brain is protected by the skull. The lungs are protected by the ribs. Without a skeletal system, we would not be able to stand up. We would just be blobs on the floor. The bones provide a nice framework for the muscles to attach to and then cause movement. The blood cells, all the blood cells, the red blood cells and the white blood cells, are formed within the bones. And then finally on this list, we have mineral storage in the bones, and that's the calcium. And calcium is very important for many body functions. So what that means is we need to be able to have a leveled amount of calcium and concentration of calcium in the blood. We have a reservoir in the bone, which is great, and of course as we get older and older, that reservoir diminishes, and we get osteoporotic, which can be a problem. Next on the list is the muscular system. It allows for us to manipulate the environment, like muscles attached to fingers help us hold a pen. Muscles attached to bone also allows for us to hold different postures or move around, and that we call locomotion. Muscles also produce a lot of heat. So that's what happens when you shiver and you're cold. The muscle heat protects your body from getting too cold on the inside. Next, we have the nervous system. And nerves control and coordinate every function in your body. It tells the body parts what to do. And that one, it acts fast. You can swerve from some approaching car and stupid whatever, and you don't even get hit. It's a light of speed. So your nerves help the body react this fast. So they react. Nerves react. They respond to changes on the inside or the outside of our body and make adjustments mainly to muscles and to glands. Glands. Next, the hormones. The endocrine system. That is a slow system that controls body function. So glands in our body secrete hormones that regulate slow processes in the body, such as growth, reproduction. The cardiovascular system consists of blood vessels transporting blood around in the body. And what that does, it brings oxygen and nutrients to the tissues, the cells that need them. And it also removes carbon dioxide and waste from the cells. The heart is the thing that pumps the blood and propels it forward, so it moves through the body. The next system is the lymphatic system. And what that does is interesting because the blood travels to the organs and then the nutrients have to go into the tissues and it's not quite efficient, so some of the fluid gets left behind. The lymphatic system picks up that fluid. And then what it does, it returns it back into the blood near the heart. But along the way, it travels through lymph nodes, and lymph nodes are like sieves that debris and other junk, what we don't want, bacteria for example, can be trapped in there and can be destroyed. So those lymph nodes house a lot of white blood cells that are involved in giving you immunity. Unfortunately, this of course also gives cancer a way to travel through the body. The next system is the respiratory system. Our lungs, they keep our blood constantly supplied with oxygen and removes carbon dioxide. So these are gases, and the lungs are to do with exchange of gases. And it does that in very, very small air sacs. We call them alveoli, and the cell membrane of those are attached to blood vessels, and the gas just passes straight through it. The digestive system, they're primarily involved in breaking food down and then absorbing small particles into the bloodstream. And then the bloodstream distributes it to the body cells. Stuff we can absorb, well, guess what? We'll get rid of it and we'll poop out. But listen to this, 80% of our immune system lies in the gut. Do you think it is important to keep your gut happy? The urinary system eliminates water-soluble waste from our body. It also eliminates water, so it regulates how much water is in our body. Because it regulates water, it also helps regulating blood pressure. And lastly here we talk about the reproductive system. The overall function of the reproductive system is the production of offsprings. I know, sex it's just a side product that we're actually going to do that thing and have offsprings. The testes in the guys produce sperm and male sex hormones, and the rest is a fancy delivery system sending the viable sperm into the female reproductive tract. In the ladies, ovaries produce eggs and the female sex hormones, and the uterus serves as a nurturing home for the developing fetus. And then the mammary glands are also important. They produce milk and nourish the newborn once it is born.